Hi everyone, welcome to topic 6 and 7. For topic 6 and 7, we're going to focus on chapter 29 in the PowerPoint. You're going to have your quiz for topic 6 and 7 right here. We're going to go over some various topics that you're going to see, but what I would like you to do is make sure to review these. So chapter 29, 30 PowerPoints are right here, but make sure to review them and really focus on the book and the character, the terms to really understand the information. And if you have any questions, let me know. But what we're going to do is focus on chapter 29. And chapter 29 is looking at what is the role of money. You'll find that money is very important because it has three major characteristics. Money is used as a medium of exchange, which means I exchange money to buy goods and services. One of the functions of money is a unit of account. Unit of account is looking at how prices are determined, and store of value. And when you look at store of value, money will hold the value that's on the note. That's the key component to the three functions of money. When we look at the two kinds of money we have commodity money and we have fiat money. Commodity money is money that has form of value, that takes a form of value. Examples of commodities are things that hold market value like gold, silver, platinum, pork bellies. And then fiat money is the money we have in our pockets. Think like the money we have in our pockets really has no value. The only reason it has a value is because the government states that's the money we use for the value of our economy. Now, when we look at the money supply is made up of two different components, currency and demand deposits. When you look at currency, that's the paper bills and coins that we have. Then when we look at demand deposits, we're looking at deposits that are put into the bank account. And these demand deposits are very important to focus on. Now, when we look at this week, we're going to be looking at the role of central banks in monetary policy. Central bank is the central organization that oversees the banking system and regulates the money supply. The way the central bank does this is through the use of monetary policy, and the Fed is classified as the central bank of the United States. The Fed is very concerned about three major goals that they look at. They look at price stability, economic growth, and full employment. When those three indicators are at the levels that they're looking at, then you'll see that monetary policy has been very effective in terms of the job it's done. When we look at the structure of the Fed, you'll notice that the structure is looking at the 7 board of governors, the 12 regional banks, so the Fed is divided into 12 banks, and then the FOMC. And the FOMC is who decides monetary policy, and that's very important for the test because FOMC is the decision maker, and they're independent of the government in terms of decisions that are made. Now, when we look at bank reserves and let me skip over here. Now, when we look at monetary controls, one of the key things we'll look at is the Fed can influence monetary controls through the changing of the bank reserves or the money multiplier. And the open market operations is where the Fed will buy and sell government bonds. And when they buy and sell government bonds, these changes in the money supply will cause variations. And these variations are important to evaluate. So if you look at the Fed can buy a government bond. And if the Fed decides to buy government bonds, that will actually cause the money supply to increase when they buy government bonds. And when they buy the bonds, the money supply will increase, which causes interest rates to decrease. Now, lower interest rates, that will stimulate spending by consumers and businesses. Now, if the Fed decides to sell government bonds, that'll cause the money supply to decrease, which will cause higher interest rates. Now, if we look at this graph right here, monetary policy, So this would be an example where the Fed decided to sell government bonds. And when the Fed decides to sell government bonds, you'll see that the that the interest rate increases. Now, when the interest rate increases, this will cause a lot of challenges in markets. And consumers will be facing these challenges to be able to make better decisions. So these are some of the topics that we're going to be focusing on. If you have any questions, please let me know, but I look forward to your effort.